YouTube Nation. Manvent TV, aka Me TV, aka Shoot Guns, Not Baskets. And that's what we're going to talk about today first on this sports show. Now, I will talk about this because due to the fact that some of you guys, as of late, have been sending me a lot of things via Twitter on what's going on in your local basketball courts, all right? And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, remember not too long ago in a video, I talked about how here locally in basketball courts, people were being shot just for playing basketball, and then we saw those comments. I showed you the comments online what was being said, and people were like, you should take down all local basketball courts in the parks. They should be shut down because that's what attracts violence. So not the individuals that are doing it and causing these crimes, but the basketball courts are the ones attracting violence. Really. And we all agreed that that was the dumbest thing you could even think, all right? But you guys on Twitter have been using this as an ongoing joke as of late and saying, Event, this is going on in my neighborhood. It's crazy. People are being killed, blah, blah. And like on the court, and you would show me a picture of what's going on the court. It would be nothing. It would be a bunch of dudes just handshaking and high-fiving and playing basketball. Yeah, that's really dangerous. And that's the thing. It was the ongoing joke, and it was great to see because it proves people wrong. And then those people who said those things, of course, they're nowhere to be found. Because they said that they had to say and they ran off with their tail between their legs. It seems like that's what happens a lot online, when you start proving things. Or if they want something taken down, which, once again, when you start proving things. But that's not the point. Point is, as of late, I want to report this because a report came out yesterday, I believe, not too long ago, that Philadelphia is entering its fewest crime rate in over 40 years. That's right. The crime rate is down. It's under, check this out, a hair under 70,000. So we're supposed to celebrate that it's under 70,000, and that's just the reported ones. We're not even talking the ones that go unreported. You ever think of the people that don't report things like rape and stuff like that, women, because they're embarrassed? You also have people who don't report certain murders and things because they're afraid for their life, and then you have those who just want vigilante justice. So you have to understand, you have to look into all these. It puts us way over 70,000, all right? But they're only looking at the reported ones. See, this is the media at work. And then we're supposed to praise this for smart policing and, smart patrolling. Let's get something straight here. I'm going to target a specific area here. People in Philly, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Port Richmond. If you take the train down to Somerset, Kensington to Somerset, okay? You get off there. For a while, you've seen, probably about the previous 3 months, you've seen that the area, those corners right there when you come off, are clean. Why? Because the police are finally patrolling those areas, all right, and keeping the 20, 30 drug dealers that used to crowd the block right there. That's right, on a major street. Yeah, all right, and mind you, this is what my documentary was supposed to be about. This was all part of it, tied into it. Now, I'll put it like this. Now, you're seeing, like I said, for 3 months you've seen it, it's pretty clear. But this was going on for 7, 5, 9 years almost, all right, of people sitting there. I know people personally who won't even walk up to Kensington and Somerset to take the train. It would be easier for them to get into the city to go work. No, they would rather, and people don't know what I'm talking about, they would rather take the 25 or the 5 to get to work. They would take the long way to work, all right, so that they didn't have to, deal with that type of trouble. So now all of a sudden, we're supposed to praise the police. The people, and here's the thing, people still don't go up there, even if it's clear, because of that. Why? Because they don't believe in the police. You've been only doing it for like 3 months. And the thing is, for it's been going on for years and years, you have to understand that no one's sold yet. Whether it's regular police or SEPTA police or whatever protocol is, I don't know if they're all together or not, but still, you have to understand that neighborhood, they don't believe you. So no, they don't trust you. It takes a hell of a lot more to do that. But we're supposed to go by the reported ones. Like I said, I'll put the link in the info bar for you guys so that you can see that. It's ridiculous. And I want to talk about Port Richmond a little bit more, because this leads right into everything I'm talking about. People understand, all right, that yesterday I was at Aaron Mingo in Allegheny, all right, and I ran into one of the guys that played basketball there, the Bull Monk. Me and him was talking a little bit, and he said, yo, did you know what happened to Biogenesis? And I'm like, nah, what happened? So check this out. Biogenesis, for those who know, is on Allegheny near the highway, all right? It's across the street from the gas station. It's in the Polish part of the neighborhood of Port Richmond, okay? Now, I will put it like this. They took one of the courts down. That's right. So, mind you, Biogenesis used to be a big balling spot, all right? Major people will go there and play. It's only one full court. They took away half the court. That's right. So now people can't go there anymore. Now I want to talk about the pattern here, about courts being taken down and where players are going. Because before, quite a couple years ago, Cohawks on Aaron Mingo right there, all right? used to be the spot to go. Everyone would go to Cohawks. Everyone would play. We had tournaments there. We had some of the biggest players, people from that were on TV would actually, come down and play at Cohawks in these tournaments. I played with these people, all right? Now I'll put it like this. Then the courts started getting messed up. They didn't take care of the courts, all right? Not just nets, but the rims would be bent. You would have all types of stuff. You got to think, it's wear and tear on the court due to players dunking and playing and stuff like that, okay? And then you also have the kids who are going to pull themselves up, and y'all know what I'm talking about. They would grab the net, pull themselves up, and just hang on the rim because they want to feel like they were dunking. So understand that there's wear and tear on courts, not to mention the cement that keeps breaking up, and then they have to fix the cement and things like that nature. Understand, these parks and rec type stuff, they have to have upkeep on these courts. You have to. And when Cohawks broke down, everyone moved down to Aramingo and Lehigh. All right, now y'all know what I'm talking about, over where St. Anne's used to be. So it was Sion. So that was the place to go. Then all the major ballers would go there to play. And guess what happened there? Everything started falling apart because of all the stuff, the cracks and everything. And here's the thing. Every year, Sion, they have an actually sponsored tournament every year. One just passed not too long ago. All right, a couple weeks ago. They have sponsored tournaments. So they raise money for these tournaments. That's right. And where does the money go? It's not going to the courts. Because I just went past there yesterday, and the courts are still the same. So where's the money? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. So now, after Sion fell down, all right, it took its fall, everybody went to Makevich. And now, Makevich is falling apart. So, like I said, the Bull Monk came to me and was like, you need to go see what's going on. Because like I said, I'm part of this community. This is what I do, people. This is what I said. When I'm out in the outside world, and like I said, I have respect to the neighborhood. The ballers know who I am. They ask me these things. So now I have to go and talk to these people and see what's going on. If I can't get in contact with these people, then I'll have to get in contact with Parks and Recs again. This is ridiculous. Now, before I jump the gun here, I want to say that maybe they are going to put up a new court. Maybe they are. I don't know. But the way that they took down the other side of the court, it doesn't look like it's going to. They look like they're going to make it something else so that you only have one half court. Now, mind you, where are these players supposed to go? What, you want them to go down to 6th and Lombard? You want them to go down to 10th and Bainbridge? Where you want them to go? 5th and Washington? You want them to go down to Oregon? Where do you want these players to go? Where can they go that it's okay to have some good old competition basketball? Why do you keep taking this away from them? And then you wonder why crime is going up. It's a direct, I'm telling you, it's a direct connection. You're saying that crime is, basketball courts bring crime. No, when you take activities away from people who don't have anything already, then that's what leads to crime. It makes no sense. None of it. And I need to do some answers. So yeah, I'm going to go check it out later this week and see what's going on. I have to. And it's funny because when I say these type of things, I'm actually out in the real world and having these things and working on these things. I got people online saying, you need to get off your ass. You need to help the fight game community. You need to show more. You need to go out and prove it. I got my plate full already, bruh. Won't you step up and do something? I'm not Superman. As much as I'd like to be, I'm not Superman. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, I cannot do this all on my own. And this is why I keep calling out the media. Because then I have to ask them, where are you in this situation? You're so quick, and I'll put it like this. If some high schooler or whatever made some type of amazing trick shot or whatever, or a buzzer beater, you'd be quick to put that damn thing on ESPN. But if when a neighborhood needs your help and you have the power to influence, you're nowhere around. What are you doing, local media? Nothing. What are you doing, ESPN? Oh, that's right. Today, you were giving relationship advice to Rory McIlroy. But this is what it comes down to. The media doesn't care about you. They got what they want from you, and they're going to take whatever for ratings or whatever, and then they're going to leave you for dead. That's what they do. It's amazing how I can come out and try to use things, because I've shown you guys in videos before, me going out and interviewing people on these issues. I've shown you this, all right? But yet, I'm still not doing enough. It's amazing how people expect so much from me when they're not doing anything themselves. But understand, this is something that has to be taken care of. It just has to. I cannot do this by myself. I can't. Everyone starts to need standing up and saying, hey, look, we need to take care of this before it gets worse. But when I promote that, I'm wrong. How is that possible? Seriously. I mean, do we have that many stupid people here on the internet? And I want to talk about this because we see so many other, not just media, but big YouTubers. I mean, seriously, who do sports videos as well, who have that influence, who can do this, and guess what they do? They do nothing with it. Because they want to be, linked in with the media. They want to show you that they're all over celebrities and stuff like that. You could be showing that you're helping the neighborhood, that you're making a change. And yet, all you're worried about is yourselves. I don't understand this. But yet, I'm wrong. I'm the angry black man. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the worst person in the world, apparently. It's amazing how many people will not grow up. But I do want to talk about a little bit some more about the local media, okay? Because the Sixers organization has come out and said that they are apologizing to their fans, which I'll put the link in the info bar. They apologize to the fans about the Andrew Bynum fiasco that happened. And I'll put like this, Sixers organization, if you are really sorry, the people who paid the money for all that Andrew Bynum merchandise, you will give back. But you're not going to do that, are you? No, because you don't really care. They're hollow apologies. You need to start proving it. Like they tell me, you need to start proving it. It's sad that you would sit there and think that's okay. And I told you this before because when I was at 97.5, what did I say? CEO Adam, he doesn't know what he's doing. You need to go into these neighborhoods, all right? If you want fans, because he wants to put asses in the seats, you need to go into these neighborhoods. You need to start helping with the basketball situation in these communities to get people. If you earn their trust, they will come back. It's not an easy fix. This is something you have to work with in the long haul to create more fans. Not the typical idiot who's going to put face paint on and say, oh, Sixers, 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 and as soon as they start sucking, walk away. That's not who you want. You need to tap into the basketball community. And I'm saying this as well to the new CEO. Because, like I said, CEO Adam, he's gone. So to the new CEO, seriously, all you have to do is follow the game plan. But it seems like nobody wants to take that seriously because they get paid so much money, wear these stupid power suits on, these power ties, and they think they know everything because they get paid so much money. Look, your money means nothing to me. Your role means nothing to me. If you're not using your influence in the right situations, then I don't care about you. You need to check yourself. And that's my warning to the new CEO, because if you don't do these things, guess what? You'll end up just like CEO Adam. This is why the Sixers front office has been a revolving door. This is why constantly people are getting fired left and right, but the players make out because they're making a ton of money and not really producing anything. This is the problem with the Sixers. It's been like this for years, for almost a decade now. You can easily right the wrongs if you do it the right way. If this is more about money, so that, because if what they're saying is players don't want to come to a city where fans aren't around, they don't want to play for a bunch of empty seats. Well, then you need to do the right thing. But it seems like we're still having this problem. And the only excuse I heard for CEO Adam when he was here at 97.5, this is what you said to me. You said, but he's a nice guy. Well, nice doesn't pay the bills. Nice doesn't put asses in the seats. Nice doesn't help the basketball community. Nice is not helping the Sixers. You have to do what you have to do. It's business. I get it. But come on. Do something about it. I don't know. Speaking of more basketball, Derrick Rose comes out and says that he is the best player in the NBA. Look, Derrick Rose, I like the way Derrick Rose plays. He still has problems with vision when it comes to passing the ball. Okay? But if you're going to say you're the best player in the world, you have to prove it. And guess what? You can't say you're the best player in the world when guess what? Once again, you aren't playing this year, so you can't say that. And until you start playing again and stop being scared, because he has announced that he will play the first game of the season, until you stop being scared, nobody can take you seriously. That's simple. But let's move on, because I want to talk about football. That's right. For those who don't know, football, yeah. You know, it's very sad to see what's going on with the Eagles. As we know, Jeremy Maclin has been injured. He's pretty much out for the season, all right? ACL tears. We had another linebacker who also went down. He's ACL tear. What is going on with these athletes that they get out there and all of a sudden they injure themselves? They cannot be being pushed that hard. I'm sorry, they just can't. You're a wide receiver. You're not doing but so much out there. What are you doing on the offseason? Are you not taking care of yourself? What is going on with the athletes of today? I mean, you really have to ask yourself, are they on something? Because a tear like that just doesn't happen out of nowhere. Seriously, what is going on here? This is a big problem. And Donovan McNabb retired as an Eagle, all right? He retired. You know, he thanked everyone. And he said something which really I took offense to, all right? And he didn't say anything about the fans bad. He said he felt that he let down the city of Philadelphia. That, McNabb, you did not do. I don't care what these people say about Donovan McNabb. He took us to a Super Bowl. All right? Look how many yards he threw for, how many touchdowns he threw. Look at the body of work in that Super Bowl, because that's the first thing people bring up. All right? I don't care what T.O. said, oh, he got fatigued or whatever. Guess what? People get fatigued. They do. They do. We're talking about a person who played on one leg, all right? Broken leg and still played. We're talking about that guy, Donovan McNabb. A lot of people like to get on him for throwing the ball low. As a quarterback, they teach you to throw the ball low because if you sail the ball high and it tips, you know what happens. Pick off. You know this. And I know a lot of people like to bring up his personality. I bring up his personality a lot of times. Especially, and I will say it to this day, that Raiders game when we're supposed to beat the Raiders and they're blowing us out and he's on the sidelines laughing. Yeah, I got a big problem with that. I will always say that. I will. But understand, as his whole body of work, his entire body of work, he was the best quarterback. That's right, the Philadelphia Eagles have ever had. And this is coming from someone who wears a Randall Cunningham jersey. I don't even own a McNabb jersey. All right, maybe I should. But the fact is, all I own is a Randall Cunningham jersey because he's the only quarterback I felt at the time that was the best quarterback for the Eagles. And now you have to give McNabb his due. It's a shame that we're seeing a guy who put it all out there before he moved on to Washington, and he was a joke in Washington, he was a joke in Minnesota. He was, okay? No one's going to deny that. But understand, when he played here, he busted his ass. He put himself on the line. And you're going to try to take that away from him. Fans want him to run more. He ran more. He got hurt. When he was running more, you want him to throw more. Then when you start throwing more, you want him to run more. Well, that's too late because he's already injured. Eagles fans, it's sad that a guy has to come out and say that he felt he let you down because of how much pressure you put on him when you didn't look at the rest of the players on offense. How many times did players during his era came out and said, we just stood around and watched him because he's Superman. We stood around and watched him. But when he would go down, the backup would come in, that's when the players would try harder. You need to start looking at the overall team instead of just blaming him. I understand he was the quarterback of this team. When they do well, they praise him. When they lose, you throw him under the bus. I get it. But you have to look at the rest of the team during that era. The Eagles were relevant when he played. They were. And before anyone brings up Michael Vick, until Michael Vick gets to that level, don't say anything about Michael Vick. That's simple. Is he going to win the quarterback competition? I think he's going to win the quarterback competition. I think he will. I don't understand what's going on with Chip Kelly, but these guys are dropping like flies. And you know what? This happens every year. And they say, oh, it's the Eagles' curse. No, there's clearly something going on with the Eagles training staff. That's who I'm pointing the finger at. There is no way. We saw it last season, the season before. I talked about this in video. How players are hurt. They have, messed up ankles and strains in their legs, and yet they're letting them walk off the field into the back instead of carting them off, so they don't risk any more injury, further injury. This is the training staff that you have on the Philadelphia Eagles. Something is wrong, but yet people still want to blame McNabb. It's this simple, Philadelphia. He could have easily acted like this boxer and said the wrong city at the wrong time.
Manager Al Heyman, I want to thank Showtime and Golden Boy Productions for giving me this opportunity to showcase my skills and talent. I also want to thank this city right here, San Diego, San Antonio, my bad, baby, my bad.
And yet McNabb kept it classy. Once again, Philly, I mean, seriously, I would have loved to have seen a conference where he just went off on Philly fans. I would have loved to have seen it. Because you've been booing him ever since the draft. And he turned out to be a damn good player. But yet, you don't want to give him the credit for that. I mean, all the things that he went through, they tried to play the race card on him. Rush Limbaugh came out and said something about him. He had every right to come out and say something. And yet he still kept it professional. But you're not going to give him credit for that, right? He's one person. He's only human. If anyone would have tried to play that card towards you, you know and I know that you'd have called him on it. But yet, he tried to do what was best, not for him, but for the city of Philadelphia, the city, for black quarterbacks everywhere, and the NFL. It's a larger spectrum. But you don't want to give him credit for that at all. But now I want to talk more about football because I'll put it like this. All right? Dallas Cowboy fans, how you feeling right now since your stadium has been changed? Now, look, I'm not going to mess with you. I feel actually kind of bad for you. You really should be getting on your owner at this point. I want to put it like this. When AT&T came to Philadelphia, all right, and they renamed our one stop down at SEPTA AT&T station, Dallas Cowboy fans made fun of Philadelphia and saying, you let a company like that come in and change your station. And, because if you had AT&T, you could get reception down, under in the subway. This is to get to the games like Citizens Bank Park, Wells Fargo Center, the Lincoln Financial. If you had AT&T, you could get reception down there. If you had Sprint, Verizon, or else, you couldn't get reception. So Dallas Cowboy fans were laughing at us Eagles fans for letting a company step in. Well, now, Dallas Cowboy Stadium, is now, the name's changed to AT&T Stadium. So Dallas Cowboy fans, what's going on? You have literally lost your identity. It was called Cowboy Stadium for years. That's what it was called. That's what it was known as. And to let some company walk in like this and take your entire identity of your stadium, that's crazy. Not only that, it should also tell you that Jerry Jones he can't keep this up. You went and got that big ass screen and seriously, he can't keep it up. There is a problem going on in Cowboys, in AT&T Stadium. I want to know how you feel about this. Seriously, Cowboys fans, because at this point, it's time to eat crow. And you know what? You have every right to be upset if you are. Every right to be upset. So, I feel bad for you today. I don't feel bad for you about the Tony Romo thing. I don't know what the hell you guys were thinking, signing him all that money. You only been to, 1 or 2 playoff games? Yeah, gotta stop that. All right? But seriously, Dallas Cowboys Stadium has been known to keep the name Cowboy Stadium. All right? It's a lineage. Like I said, it's an identity. And to get rid of that is crazy. Oh, because of Jerry Jones. You need to start looking at him. Also, I put like this in other stadiums. All right? Madison Square Garden. New York fans, what's going on? Linking the info bar about Madison Square Garden maybe moving? What is this? Madison Square Garden is historic to New York. For anyone who has never been to Madison Square Garden, by all means, please go to Madison Square Garden. I'm not trying to hear, go to Brooklyn. I'm not trying to hear that. Go to Madison Square Garden. It is something of an experience that you need to know, New Yorkers. How can you let this go? Seriously. I want to know how Spike Lee is taking this. I want to know, Mr. Nick, after what he tried to do with the Miami Heat, Mr. Nick, I want to know exactly what he did. I'm surprised Knicks fans haven't jumped all over him still about that. But for some reason, he gets a pass. It's sad. Madison Square Garden. You know what? I'm going to come up to New York this year. You know how I feel about the NBA, but you know what? If it's really going to go down like that, I'm going to come up in my Sixers gear, and I'm going to watch the Sixers play the Knicks. Because you know they're going to come to Madison Square Garden. I'm going to come up to New York, and I don't care how many people are going to come with me. I don't care. Let's go up there. Let's have fun. I don't care who wins. You have to understand, when you go to Madison Square Garden, it's about being in all of it. Give a damn who wins. All right, you make it a good game, you may not. Who cares? But Madison Square Garden is legendary. And for anyone to think that it's okay in New York to get rid of that, that's sad. That's very sad. But we got Brooklyn now. Stop that. Stop. I want to move on. Okay? I want to talk about this HGH issue in the MLB. For everyone that's been known what's going on, Ryan Braun has been caught doing, steroids or HGH, whatever he's been caught of. I don't care what he's been caught of. The fact is, he was caught before, and then he was let off the hook, and now he's caught again, and now suspending him. However, nobody has taken away his MVP title. Why is this? I don't understand this. Give it to Matt Kemp. Give it to him. He actually earned it. This is the problem we have today. And now A-Rod is on the cusp of being banned for life. Now, I want to put it like this. If you're going to ban A-Rod for life for using steroids, then you know what? You need to lift the ban that you have on Pete Rose for gambling. Because there are two different extremes. No way can you sit here and say, well, he was gambling. We'll just ban him for whatever X amount of years for life. All right? And then say, well, A-Rod was actually affecting games. He was taking stuff away from teams. Championships. A-Rod needs to be banned. But guess what, MLB? It doesn't matter to A-Rod. You want to know why? Because A-Rod he's paid. He's multi-millionaire. It doesn't matter. The Yankees in 2009 beat us Phillies, all right? Which we all know was a joke. But that's a different discussion for a different day, all right? But still, steroids, you get rid of them. Either you lift the ban on steroids, or if you're going to ban A-Rod, you let Pete Rose back in the MLB. That's what you do. Because Pete Rose, even though he was gambling, guess what? He wasn't on anything when he played. He was a hell of a player. As much as I don't like Pete Rose after what he said about Phillies fans calling us animals and carrying on, and I still see Phillies fans to this day, all right, wearing Pete Rose jerseys after what he said about Phillies fans was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. All right, but Pete Rose has done nothing to impact the sport when it comes to physicality and actually hustle and playing. A-Rod has. So if you ban A-Rod, Bud Selig, guess what? Don't be proud about it, because for those who don't know, he's proud about all this stuff. Don't be proud about it. No, what you have to do is you have to let Pete Rose back in. There's going to be a number of people that come out and say that. And here's the thing, because when fans started going against Ryan Braun, they were wearing jerseys and saying he's a fraud. In Milwaukee, they were kicking him out of the stadium. They were giving him ultimatums. They were saying either reverse your jersey or you can't come in. And then afterwards, they were saying, oh, we're sorry. Well, sorry doesn't bring that fan back. See, the Brewers have a lot to work on. And it seems like now that we're hearing Biogenesis, the people, that's been checking out all this stuff, they're saying that the steroids are bigger than baseball. That it goes across all sports. Now, we know in football, it's been used. There's no doubt about that. We all know this, all right? But now basketball. Now, here's the thing. Once again, bringing back Derrick Rose, okay? We know that Derrick Rose said last season that players, they said, 80% of players were on steroids, and people started targeting LeBron. And then when that was said, Derrick Rose backtracked and said, oh, I didn't say that. That was a reporter just, putting quotes in the wrong situation, and I didn't really say that. No. It's time to start exposing these players. It's either you ban them, and we all know the NBA is not going to target LeBron. He's a cash cow. We know that. All right? But that's what the media was targeting at the time. But I'll put it like this. We know that this is a problem. It needs to be addressed. There's already talks of game fixing, and this in the NBA, game fixing, and now steroids. Come on, man. Come on. This needs to be cleaned up. But yet, people will still watch. And LeBron Center will always look in there. Oh, if you don't know what LeBron Center is, you should know Sports Center. We know this. But these are the things that we have to deal with as fans and people who actually still play. It's this simple. If somebody gets caught with steroids, you take everything away from them. They had to cheat in order to make it ahead in the sport and make millions of dollars. And maybe there needs to be something in the contract that says, look, if you cheat or you're caught with steroids, you got to start paying back money. You have to start all this stuff. You have to start paying back. It taints titles. You're taking legit opportunities away from other people who didn't get a chance to shine because you're cheating. And it takes away, the hard work of others. It's sad. But this is what sports has come to.